All India Muslim Personal Board has cited the Sharia law to announce that it will explore ways to get Supreme Court's recent verdict allowing divorced Muslim women to claim maintenance beyond the iddat period overturned. The board has also authorized its president to initiate all possible measures to ensure that this decision is rolled back. Earlier, the Supreme Court, in a landmark judgment, ensured that maintenance rights for all women, including Muslim women under Section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code, after convening its working meeting, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board has adopted a resolution condemning the Supreme Court's ruling that Muslim women can seek maintenance under the section. The board emphasized that Prophet's teachings against divorce and highlighted the Quranic guidelines regarding marital matters. Let's start my conversation. Joining me on the telecast is Feroz Bakht Ahmed. And Feroz Bakht Ahmed, do you find it appalling that after decades since the Shah Bano case, where matter had been resolved after the Supreme Court verdict that came in overturning the government of India's diktat that Shah Bano was not entitled to maintenance, this comes and smacks us in the face again?
All right, am I audible to you, Megha?
Yes.
Megha, this is very sad. What the Muslim Personal Law Board has done, it is nothing. It is just, contempt of court, what they have done. They should be punished for that, number one. Number two, as far as Shah Bano case is concerned, I mean, today the situation of Muslim women is really pathetic. They say, Muslim Personal Law Board and some of their ilk, what they say, that it is interference in Sharia law. Arey bhai, why you do such things that the women have to go to court and they have to plead for maintenance? Earlier, thanks God that this triple talaq has been done away with. But, a court has, given a remarkable judgment in favor of Muslim women. Now, these Muslim men are enemies of their own women. If they are getting some kind of a benefit out of the Supreme Court order that their maintenance is to be taken care of for the whole of their lives, of their children, I mean, this is a landmark judgment. And I do not know. Other thing which I would like to add is, as far as this All India Muslim Personal Law Board is concerned, there are some women in it, but they are hardly to be seen on the face. Only men appear, and they discuss on any or everything, right from the bedroom of Muslim community to anything, whether it is 370, whether it is Parda system, whatever. This AIMPLB or All India Muslim Personal Law Board has no right to speak on behalf of the Muslim community. It is a mere NGO established in 1993, and the way they shoot off the block. If there is some talk of UCC, right? If there is some talk like that, whether it is 370 or any other thing which is regarding the goodness of the entire Muslim community, they just poke their dirty nose into that. They try to stall it. They try to stop it. This is very, very unfortunate. And I believe, last remark of mine, that in fact, Muslims should not fall into the clutches of this personal law board. India is one, and what supreme law is, the order by the Supreme Court, Sharia is, we love our Sharia, we leave Sharia at home when you go to court, we are on the road. But as far as these decisions are concerned, the country and the Constitution of India is above all religious laws. Sharia is a personal thing.
Taira Hassan, how do you have to react to this All India Muslim Personal Law Board coming out and challenging the Supreme Court's verdict? They say, why must a man pay his ex-wife maintenance and alimony? After the man divorces his wife, it no longer remains the man's responsibility to look after the woman.
First, Megha, I would say that it is a landmark judgment of the Supreme Court. And it is one step towards the gender equality, And the Muslim Personal Law Board is again going to make a blunder this time. They have proved that they are against the Muslim women. They never stood with the Muslim women. They are not a voice of the Muslim women. And the highest court of the land stood with the women. And again, it is second time it's going to stood with the Muslim women. So I think the personal law board has, they are talking senseless things. The woman who gives her life and sacrifices for the family, she is abandoned by the husband a minute. And after that, if she is not able to sustain herself, she is not able to maintain herself, then you will abandon her, make her destitute. It's a part of Sharia. Can't be part of Islam, because Islam based on the justice and the humanity. I just want to ask the Muslim Personal Law Board President, he has read the Quran properly? Does the Quran say abandon the woman, throw the woman out of the house, make her destitute? It is for those women who are not financially dependent. They need some financial help to maintain herself. So naturally, what's wrong into it? If the court, the highest court of the land, verdict that the Muslim women who are also the citizen of this country, so this section 125 of CRPC is for everyone, irrespective to religion.
Yeah.
So same the Muslim women can, divorced Muslim women can also go and seek for the maintenance. Why they are worried against it? Why they are so much against of the Muslim women?
Then why
So
Taira
this is
Hassan,
the question.
why is an organization which is so extremist, which is so seeped in patriarchy against the Muslim women of the country, continues to be given such preference in our society?
No. Nobody is in the clutches of the Muslim Personal Law Board. Very few people are with them. Muslim women are not, Muslim women are now vocal. They are raising their voice. They are fighting against things. They are taking Muslim Personal Law Board head on. And this time you cannot say that the Muslim Personal Law Board holds the whole community. They are not under their grip.
Okay. Nida Khan also on the telecast with me. Nida, thank you very much for joining me on the telecast. This is similar scenario that is being played out after the landmark Supreme Court verdict over the alimony that is the right of a woman who gets divorced from a Muslim man, which goes beyond the iddat period, which has been the kind of questions and the challenges that are being raised at this point of time by the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. Something similar was also witnessed when the triple talaq was criminalized and unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. The same voices of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board and their leaders and the directors and the chairmen came out together and vehemently opposed the Supreme Court verdict.
I just want to know from this law board, Muslim Personal Law Board, कि जब भी हम फीमेल्स की बात करते हैं, बेसिकली फॉर द मुस्लिम फीमेल्स, वो बीच में आके क्यों खड़े हो जाते हैं? अब हम बात कर रहे हैं एक लैंडमार्क जजमेंट की, वो राइट है उसका, उसमें साफ साफ लिखा है, इट्स नॉट अ चैरिटी जो वो हमें दे रहे, ये हमारा राइट है जो हम उनसे सीख कर रहे हैं. अगर आप इतने ही शरीयत वाले होते तो हमें कोर्ट जाने की क्या जरूरत थी? I am facing the same scenario because I belong to the school of thoughts. तो मुझे भी ये देखने को मिलता है कि जब भी कोई बात होती है फीमेल्स के रिगार्डिंग में, they bring that शरीयत to dodge the law. They always did this कि आपको जब आपको लॉ को डॉज करना है तो वो शरीयत का ही इस्तेमाल करते हैं. अभी भी वो यही कर रहे हैं. कहाँ लिखा है कि आप किसी भी औरत को इस तरीके से बेहाल कर दें या 40 साल की उम्र में आप घर से निकाल लें, वो क्या नौकरी करेगी बताइए? उसको कौन रखेगा? एक उसका लाइफस्टाइल सेट हो चुका होता है, वो कहाँ जाएगी? ये भी तो एक सोचने वाली बात है, लेकिन ये सब बातें नहीं सोची जा रही. वो बस ये सोच रहे हैं कि भाई वो लड़का नहीं जिम्मेदारी उठा सकता है. जब वो जिम्मेदारी नहीं उठा सकता तो वो छोड़ क्यों रहा है उसको? जी पर निदा, यहाँ पे आपके साथ जब हम ट्रिपल तलाक की बात करें, ये कुछ साल पहले ये एक लैंडमार्क वर्डिक्ट दिया गया था सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने, और मैं यही क्वेश्चन दोबारा पूछूंगी कि ये जो अपने आप को कस्टोडियंस ऑफ द मुस्लिम सोसाइटी बतलाते हैं, यही जो कस्टोडियन, सो कॉल्ड कस्टोडियंस है, मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड और ऐसे काफ़ी सारे एक्सट्रीमिस्ट जो कि आवाज़ इकट्ठी करते हैं, आवाज़ उठाते हैं, बोलते हैं कि ट्रिपल तलाक शरिया लॉ से मेल खाता है. और उन्होंने आवाज़ ये भी उठाई थी जब ये कोर्ट केस चल रहा था सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अंदर, वो ये जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट की वर्डिक्ट थी उसके एकदम खिलाफ थे. यही सुप्रीम कोर्ट जब उन्हें बचाता है और स्टे देता है तो इसी सुप्रीम कोर्ट की वो तारीफ करते हैं। यही सुप्रीम कोर्ट अगर मुसलमान औरतों के साथ इंसाफ करता है तो उसकी मुखालफत करते हैं। इनका बेसिक प्रॉब्लम ही यही है। बात रही ट्रिपल तलाक की, तो जब नाउ एंड देन हर हफ्ते ट्रिपल तलाक प्रैक्टिस हो रहा था, तब मुस्लिम लॉ ये लॉ पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड कहाँ था? आप खुद बताइए। हम लोग ने इतनी प्रॉब्लम फेस करी है, हर हफ्ते हर 2 दिन में किसी न किसी छोटी छोटी बातों पे तलाक दिया, तब आप लोग कहाँ थे? जब तक औरत अपनी राइट्स नहीं मांगती है आप गायब रहते हैं। उसके बाद जब उसके साथ कुछ अच्छा हो जाता है आप उठ के आ जाते हैं कि ये अच्छा कैसे हो गया है। बेसिकली यही प्रॉब्लम है। अभी भी जो आपका जजमेंट आया है, इट्स लाइक ए वेरी फेवर फॉर वुमेन्स। हम पहले से ही मेंटेनेंस ले रहे हैं, हम डाइवोर्स है, हमें तब भी मेंटेनेंस मिल रहा है, ऐसा कुछ नया नहीं है। बट हाँ, अब कंपलसरी हो गया है देना। लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या है ये अभी तक किसी को नहीं समझ में आई है
जी।
कि उनको प्रॉब्लम क्या है, कि क्यों नहीं देना चाहिए। वो ये चाहते हैं कि मुसलमान औरत रोड पे आके भीख मांग ले, गलत काम कर ले, वो उनके लिए ठीक है, लेकिन आदमी किसी तरीके से उसकी जिम्मेदारी उठाए ये बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है। फिर
जी,
तो यही
बिल्कुल।
नजरिया आया ना।
जी बिल्कुल।
आप अगर किसी भी तरीके से औरत को सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहे, ठीक है, आप अपना ही बोर्ड उठा लीजिए, आप कितनी औरतों की मदद कर रहे हैं आप जानते हैं, ठीक है। आपको ये मंजूर है एक औरत रोड पे खड़े होके भीख मांगे, एक औरत खड़े होके गलत काम कर ले, वो ठीक है, लेकिन हम आपको महीना नहीं देंगे। बेसिकली दे वांट दिस।
Yeah, absolutely. Shamsharavi Shrain, how do you view this? I'm again going to go back decades ago when Shahbano case came into being. The same Muslim Personal Law Board was against the Supreme Court verdict. Rajiv Gandhi was consulted by the All India Muslim Personal Law Board back then as well in successfully overturning the Supreme Court verdict in the case.
Well, I would first want to know that how many women are there and part of this Indian Muslim women personal board. No one. If I think that
There are a few. Unfortunately, they don't raise the voice.
It's just that they might be just the sleeping voices over there, because the women would always say yes, that it is necessary for the maintenance. I would start with the kind of upbringing Muslims have in their families, wherein a girl child from the day she is born, she has been taught that you will take care of the house. So a girl is not from the beginning taught that how to earn money, what importance the education hold, and then they have been sent outside to someone else's house and get them married. So from day one, they don't know how to earn money. So once they are out of the marriage, they don't know how to earn. So for them, their only way is either go, become a servant or become a nanny, or go begging, or else go into prostitution. And at today's time, if you look at the history, wherein in prostitution, women are increasing day by day, and especially Muslim women. If you check their background, it is that they have been kicked out from their marital home and they don't have a source of income, and this is the only way for them to raise their own children. So that is the problem that no one is able to see, especially these men claiming to be safe guardians of the Islam. So the problem is that for them, they, in fact, I would say that most of them might have done the same thing, and because of this judgment, they might have to pay someone else. So that's
Fair
why
enough.
they are totally against it. Otherwise, Section 125 maintenance. How bad is it for you to pay? I mean, someone has stayed for you with you, raised kids, given birth to your own kids, and you one fine day kick them out of your house. Agar maintenance nahi hoga, they will keep on thinking ki, oh, it's okay, you can pay just 3 month maintenance, which actually would be 20,000-40,000.
There is a parallel law.
And then you're done.
Yeah, Sham Sharif, there's a parallel law that exists, which is unfortunate in Sharia law, that a man is allowed to marry multiple times. Now, this law has been scrapped in various other Islamic states, but it continues to be in the country, in India. And thereby lies, the multiple problems that crop out of it. Because on one hand, when you decide to get married to a woman, and like you said, the kind of conditioning that a Muslim girl is provided within her surroundings, within her environment, within the household by the family is you are trained to be a housewife. You are trained to be a glorified maid, if I may call them. And you get married. The man of the house does not allow you to go and work and be empowered and and independent and look after yourself. And then, because the law favors the man in giving him several of these leeways to get married to women one after the other, and at the same time talking about how Sharia law, according to All India Muslim Personal Law Board, does not hold a man responsible to pay for the maintenance of the woman that he has divorced. It's a completely convoluted law that just favors the men and shows the blatant patriarchy that Sharia law then emphasizes and highlights and is symbolic of.
Yes, and precisely this is the reason that these laws were actually, if you will talk about Islam was never like this. It's them who have manipulated it as per their own choice, and they keep on telling it to everyone that this is what the Islam is. Otherwise, marrying 4 times had a reasoning to it, and you had to ask your first wife that can I get married or not. I mean, it was a very different concept. Islam is very different concept. Whereas these men who claim to be the Thekedar, the guardians of the Islam, they have not even read it the way it should be read, because every comma, every full stop changes the meaning of a sentence. This is what they have been doing, and because it from every angle they want that it should be a beneficial place for the men. So that's why they have been treating all the women from the starting point till the end as if they are not a integral and not an important role in the Islam and in the society.
Okay, Feroz Bakht Ahmed, let's come to you. When you raised the point of uniform civil code, and as Shams Sharif has said that Quran has been interpreted, unfortunately, for all the wrong reasons by certain individuals like the All India Muslim Personal Law Board and their chairman and their members. And these laws are now prevalent because these laws, Muslim laws, personal laws, have not been scrapped by the country of India in the constitution, in the legal system. So they continue to persist, they continue to exist. Now, can a solution be found in scrapping these personal laws and allowing for secular laws to take their place?
All right, can you listen to me?
I can hear you,
Megha?
sir. Yes.
Yes. You see, let me tell you one thing. In your neighborhood, not very far away from your studio, there is a young woman who actually was divorced by her lawyer husband, and he just left something like 15,000 rupees for her and for a child, Ali, who is just celebrated 1 year of her birthday. And he said, you take this dower, this meher, 15,000 rupees. Now, what she would do? Fortunately, she is employed in a channel, but this is what has been happening. And Supreme Court has done this thing in the right area, in the right manner. And it is also a lesson for those men who shunned their women away from the houses, कि खाने में नमक तेज हो गया, साड़ी पहन ली, किसी से मिलने चली गई. Now these are petty reasons. They throw their women out along with their children. They will also be warned. If they do this thing, this alimony will be given by them for the whole of their lives, right? And this is the right thing. Now, no matter how many people crib or cry, but this is a law. And let me quote you one more incident. One person went to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He told him, I want to divorce my wife. Prophet said, what's the problem? To cut it short, he told 99 problems which he had with his wife. Prophet asked him, peace be upon him, is there any good quality? He mentioned one good quality. Worst to worst person also has a good quality. Prophet Muhammad told him, look here, Mr. Sahaba, he was a follower of Prophet Muhammad. if she has just one good quality, your wife, just think of that good quality, spend all your life with her, don't divorce her, right? When a man divorces his wife, the mountains, they almost leave their base, and her cry, her in fact pain, it reaches the seven skies to Allah. Now this is such a terrible thing, and if you do it, yes, you have to pay alimony for the whole of your lives. You have to take care of herself, her children. So it is better not to divorce woman, your wife, right? So that is a lesson. And personal law board, who the hell are these people? कौन लोग हैं? क्या क्या इन्होंने ठेकेदारी कर रखी है मुसलमानों की?
Yeah.
क्या ये दुकानदार हैं, मकानदार हैं मुसलमानों के? They are nobodies.
Okay.
And let this judgment go to the 5-judge bench. They will have the. I mean,
Okay.
they are putting the entire Muslim community into a very bad patch. They should not do it. Muslims are peaceful people. They are nationalists. They love their country. They love their governance. And these people, the people from Personal Law Board, I do not know. Wow, on whose diktat they are doing all these things. India is a wonderful country. It is better than any other Muslim country or any other country in the world. And these people,
Yeah.
the way they are taking.
Okay, but Feroz Bakht Ahmed, has the situation really transformed in our country? Because at the time, back when Nehru was the Prime Minister and India had recently gained independence, the Hindu personal laws had been dissolved, and in turn, in place of them came the secular laws that were the legalities that had to be followed by every citizen of the country, including the Hindus and the Christians and any other community that resides in India, that is a citizen of India. But for some reason, the Muslim Personal Law Board, those Muslim personal laws were not dissolved because of I don't know if there could be communal tensions that could have been flared up. Was it because of the vote bank politics that it was being done? Was it because of the appeasement that had to be shown to a certain community within the Muslim society? And then I again bring back the Shah Banu case and the fact that the All India Muslim Personal Law Board has such authority, such position, such value of influence that the then Prime Minister of the country had to upturn the Supreme Court verdict and bring out a diktat in consultation with the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. So where when you're talking about this is just a fringe element, does not represent the entire Muslim community, but they seem to be the people, they seem to be this society that is so strong and influential, that they have the power to turn the tide of how the Muslim society and community lives and breathes.
No, exactly. Even if this decision goes to the 5-judge bench, it will have the same result, right? As they tried to challenge the result of the Ram temple. I mean, this is not the BJP, in fact, brainchild or anyone else. This is the Supreme Court decision. And Supreme Court has worked on the travails that these Muslim women have been facing at the hands of their men. The way, unfortunately, women in India, whether it is Muslims, Hindus, Parsis, Christians, in each and every community, unfortunately, the woman is, in fact, her situation is pathetic. She is repressed and suppressed. That should not happen. And in our community, it is a bit more, right? So the best thing for Muslim Personal Law Board is to just, apologize for whatever they had been doing. Anything which happens in favor of Muslim community, they are the first ones to jump off the block and, in fact, create a lot of hullabaloo. It should not happen. And the entire Muslim community gets Muslim. All Muslims are not like that. Most of the Muslims in India, Megha, they do not know what is this Personal Law Board. Some of them who know about it, they say, okay, they must be doing something good in terms of religion. But they are taking Muslims for a
Okay.
ride.
Okay. All
This
right.
is not to be done.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Tahira ji, coming back to you. Now, again, my contention over here. What are these laws that Muslims are trying to safeguard that they are still skeptical about getting themselves aligned with the secular laws of the country?
You know, Megha, this is a patriarchy is deep rooted in our society. The same in the Muslim society also. And the Muslim Personal Law Board is not authorized and neither have they have any right on this thing. They are not a voice, you can say, of the Muslim community. It is not like that. You know, we are saying for such a long time that please codify Muslim personal laws on the basis of the progressive interpretation. And just their reform is essential in the laws which are derogatory or which are against the women. You know, because we are in the largest democracy which is run by the constitution. And the Islam is also very progressive religion, I'm saying. So they are saying they were fighting for the triple talaq in one go. They were with the triple talaq with one go. They stood with the instant triple talaq. And what happened in the highest court of the land? They were defeated. This time again, they are making a big mistake going in Supreme Court against the women. Again, they will be defeated.
Okay.
The Muslim women of this country are vocal and they will take their issues themselves, their problems which they are facing. And second thing, if they are not interested in the man to give, that they're so worried that how husband will pay the alimony after if that period is difficult. Why they don't talk to the Waqf board who has enough money? They should arrange the shelter home. They should arrange the training classes for our women, young girls especially, and the middle and old women also are abandoned. You know, like that.
Okay.
So for each and every one, make them self-reliant, make them independent financially.
Okay.
You are not doing anything, only you want to make them destitute. What kind of Islam you are projecting? You are just giving the bad picture of Islam in front of everybody.
Okay.
You are projecting a bad picture of Islam. So you should be punished. I mean, personal law should be punished.
Yeah, Shams Sharif, coming back to you before I wrap up this discussion. Again, the same question. What is left of the Muslim personal laws that still pushes for the Muslim community to stick to it and not align themselves to the secular law and follow the secular laws?
Whatever benefits them, it's what will cause a problem to them. All right. So for them, as long as you can have multiple wives, you don't have to pay. You know, you can have the best of your life enjoyments. That's what they would, like. Otherwise, in this divorce, except for the Muslim, it's a very tough job. It's not easy to get. You need to have right grounds for the divorce. You have to pay the maintenance and all. That's why you will see divorces compared to Muslims in the other religion. Divorces rates are slightly less. Whereas in the Muslims, it is slightly easy. That teen bari triple talaq bol diya, and then you are done. You don't have to go to court. You don't have to pay part of your property and all. So for them, it is an easy thing. So that's why if my wife is no longer pretty, I can divorce her. If she is standing against me, I can divorce her. So which means that in a way, Uniform Civil Code is very necessary over here. This way, women will get equal rights. Divorce, all right. If you want to give me divorce, go to court. Give a proper ground that my character is not good. And something else.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Why don't you follow the rule of the land? Why don't you follow the law of the land?
Yes.
Why don't you go through the secular laws and where you are a certain justice instead of going through these? Yeah. And also, the question arises is when such controversial statements that are made by the Muslim Personal Law Board, why has this board still not been dissolved? Why does it continue to be such an integral, important part of society?
Well, that is something that I also can't say anything about that. Why it is still such an important part? But yes, if someone is talking about Islam ke against, I would say that if someone tells me how to pray, that is against Islam. If someone tells me कि आपका जो निकाह होना है वो वाला तरीका ना आपको ना मंदिर में जाके पूजा करना होगा, that I can understand. But then if you make these kind of statements कि maintenance is against Islam, I can have multiple wives the way I want. That is against Islam. Everything is wrong. Against Islam would be only the ones wherein praying, I would say, how to raise your kid, how to lead a life. That I would say against Islam, yes, but not these things.
Okay.
Always there should be that land of law should be kept higher than your personal laws.
Okay, all right. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast and sharing your views on the subject.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.